Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Baron here. So the other day, War Thunder put up pictures of the M24 Chaffee, and they're just absolutely stunning. So I had to show them off. Plus, it's anticipating, American tanks being launched in patch 1.45, which I'm very excited about. So I'm going to be covering a couple things and speculation as well, as is per usual for me, because this is stuff I really enjoy. But I'm curious as to what tier the M24 Chaffee is going to be put at. It's got a 75mm gun, pretty decent 75mm gun. But it's a light tank and it's lightly armored. And if you think about tanks in the game already right now, Russia only has light tanks going up to tier 2 with the T-80, and Germany only has light tanks going up to tier 2 with the Panzer 38T variant F. So it's kind of interesting to see, what'll happen with light tanks, because the Americans actually have a lot of light tanks. A decent amount, rather. So, but this one, I don't know. I'm wondering if it's going to be tier 3 with a battle rating that kind of flirts with tier 3 and tier 4. But, I mean, I'm not really sure, because if you think about it, you got Tigers at tier 3. So, I don't know. I mean, it's going to have great mobility and a decent 75mm gun, so it's going to be interesting to see what tier it happens at. What tier do you think it would be at? What tier do you think it should be at? I mean, this tank fought in Korea and even in Vietnam. It was used in both of those wars, in Vietnam by the French, but it was definitely used in Korea against T-34-85s, which, if you think about, those things start at tier 3 as well, which kind of leads me to think it'd probably be a tier 3 tank. At tier 2, it would just be ridiculous, and at tier 4, I think it would just be very difficult to play with, but I'm not really sure. Anyway, so let's go on to some other stuff. So first off is the M19. As you can see here, it's a variant of the M24 Chaffee. It's got 20-40mm guns, and it's been confirmed in the game already. Probably going to be at launch of patch 1.45. Here's something kind of fun, and this is the T-77. It's got 650 caliber machine guns. Now, this thing would be great for shooting down planes, but I mean, it would be largely ineffectual at dealing with any ground vehicles outside of tier 1, so I doubt we'll see it, but it's kind of interesting to show off, what some of the variants of the M24 Chaffee were. There's a lot of motor gun carriages where, they have artillery guns on it, but like howitzers and stuff, but I don't think we're going to have artillery in the game at all. And finally, we're looking at right here is actually a prototype of a prototype. This is the M38 Wolfhound, which is an armored car designed in 1944, and it has an M24 Chaffee turret on it, so it's a prototype of a prototype. The M38 Wolfhound originally had a 37mm gun and an open turret, but this bad boy has got the M24 turret right on top of it. But it's kind of interesting. I think that's a decent thought to kind of bring up a discussion about armored cars. I wonder if we're going to have them in game. I think a decent amount of the armored cars would do well in around tiers 1 and 2. It's probably, I don't know if they have it planned. I want to get your ideas and thoughts in general on armored cars, because you have, the German Pumas, which have 50mm guns and stuff like that. A lot of armored cars have 37s and smaller, 20mm guns, stuff like that, 20s, 30s, relatively small rounds. And then you have something like this M38 Wolfhound sitting, with a 75mm gun, if it's got the Chaffee prototype turret, which I guess would be a prototype of a prototype. I don't know. It's fun to muse about. I think about this stuff a lot, because there's just so much potential and so much area for War Thunder to grow into, especially with ground forces. There's so much stuff. I think armored cars could be kind of fun. They'd have pretty good speed and mobility, but they would be lacking in firepower and clearly in armor. But since there's no real scouting mechanic in War Thunder like there is in World of Tanks, I'm not sure if they really have a place. I definitely couldn't ever see them really outside of tier 2, unless it would be this thing with the M24 Chaffee turret with a 75mm gun that could compete at tier 3 or something like that, but I don't know. Just wanted to get your guys' thoughts on armored cars in general, since we saw and I researched something kind of cool about the M24 Chaffee. So anyway, who's excited for the M24 Chaffee? We've gotten to see the M2 Medium, the M103, M41 Walker, the Sherman 76, and the M16 half-track already. So this is kind of the 6th preview we've gotten to see so far on the American tanks, other than the tank tree release just the other day. And if you haven't seen that, you got to check it out. But interesting enough, M24 Chaffee and the M19 are confirmed. All the other things I spoke about are not. They are just kind of fun musings. So let me know your thoughts on that. I thank y'all for watching. Make sure to pull the trigger on the like button, and I will see you guys soon.